Welcome to the Panic Button. I'm Nina, and today we have some very special news. See, Josh Seiter, the beautiful trans woman, has come out as being a troll. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, he is a troll. He faked it. Were we surprised? Were you surprised? No. So let's watch the video where he comes out and says he was faking it.
So, you want to know what's going on?
Yes.
Well, I got to be honest. For the last 5 months, I've been conducting a social experiment online to expose how gullible and how delusional the left is.
We love it, Josh. And now I'm so happy that you came on this program and you're so gracious to fly all the way here from Chicago to come speak with us and talk about how insane the world is that you putting on a woman face, I guess is that the best way to describe it?
Yeah, woman face.
You were accepted by some, you were demonized by most, and now you're saying this was all a ruse, this was a social experiment, and I know you studied sociology. Didn't you major in sociology?
I did, yeah.
So what you did is arguably one of the greatest social experiments of our modern internet age, in my opinion, and that's why I really appreciate you coming on here and talking about the real truth. So this whole time, this has all been a stunt to try to expose the weird ideology of the transgender movement?
Well, I would say any biological man putting on woman face and putting on makeup is pulling a stunt. They are faking being a woman. And so what I did was I faked being a faker. I pretended to be a pretender. We are all the same. We're all men that were putting on makeup and dresses and claiming we were women. And I hope that this could help some people understand that just because you put on dresses and makeup as a man doesn't magically make you a woman.
How did you catch yourself in this predicament? What made you, what set you off and said, you know what, I want to go and try to expose how weird all this transgender ideology stuff is?
Well, you just mentioned autogynephilia, so I'll address that first and then I'll address the second part of your question. Autogynephilia is when men are turned on at the thought of themselves being women. And I think a lot of trans women are turned on at the thought of themselves being women. Guess what? It doesn't magically make them women. It doesn't mean we have to accept that they're women. They are simply men turned on at the thought of themselves being women. That's great. We live in a free country. You can do whatever you want, but don't make your...
Mind you, the autogynephiles are trying to have people see autogynephilia as a sexuality and not a paraphilia. And that is a very, very dangerous road that we don't want to go down, because the end result is the eradication of gay rights. Because autogynephilia, if you have a tribe, a naked tribe of people, a gay man is still a gay man. A gay asexual is still a gay asexual. But an autogynephile is a straight man. Without his clothes, he no longer could be an autogynephile without makeup and all the accessories that come with it. So autogynephilia is not a sexuality, it's a perversion, it's a paraphilia. I don't respect any man that is an autogynephile who steps into women's spaces because he thinks he has the right. I think that's totally fucked up. I think that he's fucked up and he should be nowhere near women's spaces or anywhere in the vicinity of women, because I don't think that he's a good man. I think that that is a very dangerous man that we need to keep away from society. Thank you. So let's move on.
Free country, you can do whatever you want, but don't make your fetish my truth. I don't have to accept it. To go to the second part of your question, how did I come up with this? I was talking with some friends and we said, this is patently false. Men do not magically become women. I said, let's look at the medical literature and what it says. It says that trans people don't have to transition, don't have to have gender dysphoria, don't have to get surgery, and don't have to get hormones. If they feel they are a different gender than their bio-sex, then they are trans and they are valid. And I said, understandably, this is ridiculous. Then I can present exactly how I am, and I can be trans and valid if I say that's my gender.
And here's the sad state of affairs, is that trans women have taken women's rights. They have taken them. Title IX, women's sports, the definition of women, the definition of lesbians, the rape crisis centers for women, even freaking maternity wards. It is a disgrace. Homeless shelters, anywhere where a woman is going because she's been attacked and wants to feel safe, she can't anymore because that has been invaded. Prisons Female prisons have been invaded by men. Female locker rooms, female gyms, female bathrooms, everything has been invaded by these men. And it is the complete eradication of women, the word woman, women's spaces, women's safety, women's autonomy, women's everything. This is the biggest, and I'll say this again, this is the biggest atrocity, secret atrocity to women, females, little girls of all time. And I say secret because everybody in the fucking mainstream media is pretending it's not fucking happening, pretending it's not a big thing. They did the same thing with Me Too, with the casting couch. Did the same thing. But where are the women in the pussy hats now? Nowhere to be found, because none of these fucking people who stood up for Me Too have any backbone or stand on anything. They don't stand on fucking shit. If those people stand up for you, be advised they're probably going to turn on you not too long after. So where are the women with the pussy hats? They're nowhere to be found because they don't give a shit. They just wanted to look like they gave a shit, but really, they don't. So this is the biggest scandal, the biggest atrocity to females that the United States has ever seen since the Salem witch trials. The transitioning of young girls, the eradication of homosexuality, the transitioning out of homosexuality, the conversion therapy of homosexuals, of autistic individuals. When the lid finally blows off this thing, this atrocity that is happening, everyone be mindful and remember every single person you have seen who has defended this, because in the past, barely anyone has been held accountable for their actions. How many people have been held accountable for the casting couch thing, aside from Harvey? And how many people were behind it? So many. Yet we never hear about them. We don't hear their names, nothing. So these people are still in society. They're just pushing a different agenda, which is against women, which is the trans agenda, which is the self-identification of men and the acceptance of men as women and allowing them to completely eradicate women's rights, safety, and existence. It pisses me off, man, because the amount of people out there in this world who are supporting this shit. And once everyone finally realized how fucking disgusting this shit is that's been going on, these same people who defend it are going to pretend like they never fucking defended it. Remember those people, because there's a lot out there, and they will pretend to be for women, and they are not. Democratic Party, where the fuck are they? They're so for women's rights when it comes to abortion, but what about the traumatizing effect that it's going to have on women for being forced to fucking change and get undressed in front of men who think they're women? These people who are saying, yes, this man who says he's a woman is a woman, they are allowing for the assault of women, the rapes of women, the impregnation of women who never wanted to be fucking pregnant, the eradication of everything. And for what? How many people in this world, how many people in this country actually stand for something? Democratic Party certainly fucking doesn't. In one moment they'll say, we're for women's rights, but they can't actually define what a woman is, can they? They say nothing about the women who are getting raped in prisons by men saying they're women. But they're all for the trans people. And when they say trans, they are not talking about biological women. No, they are not. They're talking about men who say they're women. That's who the Democratic Party is for. Men who say they're women. And women getting abortions because they got raped by men who say they're women and are locked in a fucking jail cell, prison cell, and can't escape. Democrats are cool with that. Democrats are cool with biological men breastfeeding babies to get their jollies off. Democratic Party is all fine with little girls having to undress in front of little boys or grown men in locker rooms. That's cool too, isn't it? They're a bunch of charlatans. They stand for nothing and they're lying to your fucking faces. Wake up, people. This is the biggest fucking atrocity on women. And what is anyone doing about it? No one's talking about it. No one's talking about it. Do you know the amount of girls who are going to need therapy and are not going to be able to find a good therapist because of the things that are happening right now that they have to shut up about or else they're canceled? How many girls have had to undress in front of men, felt uncomfortable, felt unsafe, felt violated, and had to shut up about it. You don't know how many because they've had to shut up about it, because women have always been silent, just like the casting couch, just like the everything. This is just another turn of it. And the left is silent-ish. Actually, is a little bit louder than these people.
Gender identity. And so I said, let me prove how ridiculous this is using reductio ad absurdum by being trans for 5-6 months, and hopefully people will understand then how ridiculous this is.
I definitely understand how ridiculous it is, but before we get into that,
They're downplaying how they say it's ridiculous, but they have no idea what this is doing to women. They have no idea what this is doing to women, what this is doing to little girls. These poor girls, knowing that inside themselves, they feel like they have no autonomy, no safety. But they can't say anything. And these guys, these boys who say they're women are getting away with the most disgusting stuff, and they know they can get away with it. What do you think that's going to make them become? Good members of society? No, the opposite. And we're propping up predators and pedophiles in exchange for the safety of women. Women are used to being silent. That's why you're not hearing about it. But once these women finally are like, I can't do this anymore, I'm going to kill myself if I continue on, because of the detriment that it's doing to these girls' brains, these women's brains, the lid's going to fucking pop off. The left has no fucking idea what it's like for a woman who has been assaulted or raped to be forced in a fucking space with a man and have to undress in front of him. They have no fucking idea. They have no idea what that fucking does to your brain, your head. It you up. It's fucking up these girls, man, and they can't even say anything because of these fucking people. These men and women on the fucking left who are like, let's be so accepting. So fucking accepting. You're willing to accept some fucking pedophile who says he's a woman, and you're allowing him to fucking breastfeed a baby? What the fuck is wrong with the left, man? Ugh. I can't. I'm so pissed at these people for being such, they are the problem. Pedophiles and rapists get away with shit because of people like this. If you've ever been assaulted, if you've ever been raped, if you've ever anything like that, other people were around and did nothing about it. Those people, the left. Well, this is my left. The left. And once the lid blows off, oh, they're going to be all for the women, aren't they? Are the hats and the parade going to run through again? Are we going to allow those bitches who were just letting them into the women's room, letting them into the prisons and the centers? We're going to allow those bitches to get away with it? The same bitches saying, no, we're not going to allow men in our bathrooms anymore. Those are the same bitches who were saying, if he says he's a woman, he can go in there and fucked up so many women. Are we going to allow those bitches to pretend like they didn't fucking help the predators? No. Oh, no, I'm not. That shit. No. I just like, man, I am so fucking pissed at people. It's, oh my God. It's like, none of the Republicans are talking about it. It's election time. Kamala's talking about women's rights. No one's saying, hey, bitch, what the fuck is a woman? Nope. No one's asking that. Why are they asking, hey, if you're so for women's rights, then why are you allowing men to rape women in prisons? Why are you allowing boys to sexually assault little girls in their fucking bathrooms? Crickets. Crickets. It's maddening. It's fucking maddening. Oh, it's fucking maddening, man. I can't. The amount of hot white rage I feel for these men who say they're women, and for these men and women who are propping them up and allowing them to get away with the most abhorrent, disgusting, vile, evil shit, pisses me the off, man. And I do videos like this and it gets fucking suppressed. I wonder fucking why. I wonder. I've had enough, and I need your help. I need you to help me push this video. I need you to like. I need you to hit subscribe. I need you to comment. I need you to comment. I will no longer stay silent. I don't want you to share this video, because people need to talk about this now. They need to talk. It's been too long, man. People need to talk about this now. And if you're silent, you're a part of the problem. So open your mouth and do the goddamn work, because one day the repercussions will lay upon you, my friend. And will you stay silent, or will it be too late?